Alright, my minions. Another glorious training Thursday. Thursday training. Yes. Now I know last week I stated that I was going to show you that Golden 3 pyramid workout. Unfortunately, it is raining, it is cold, and it requires me to do sprints and running, and it's not the weather for that right now. So, I got something else for you. This is a video I've wanted to do for a while now. And this is the perfect opportunity to do it, since I can't do what I originally wanted to. So, what I'm going to cover with you is combatives. Yes. What can you do with your hands? What can you do with your feet? What can you do with your body? That's what we're going over. Now, I kind of categorize people into 4 categories. You know, so you've got your gun nuts. You know, people who they all about weapons and what you can do with your weapons, and always going back to your weapons. You know, always ready. Always or rifle or shotgun. You got your gun nuts. That's all they care about. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, to each their own. You know, I like weapons, I like guns, I like firearms, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan, you know. But you got your gun nuts. Then you got what I like to call your blade barons. They're all about knives and swords and blades and other tools, you know, scythes, nunchucks, and sickles and everything else, scythes, and the the number of blades and melee weapons is almost endless. But I call them blade bearers. That's what they're into. They're throwing, they're stabbing, they're slashing, they're blade bearers. They love the blades, they love knives, they love that cold hard steel. Which again, nothing wrong with that. I usually always have a blade on me. I failed myself this time because in the house, I usually have my pocket knife on me. But yes, I'm a fan of blades. They have their purpose. You should never leave home without one. Rule number 9, never go anywhere without a knife, which I have broken just now. So. Then you got your gearheads. They're the techies. They're all about the gear, latest and greatest. You know, night vision this, you know, body armor that, scopes and bugs and wires and drones and whatever. With the digital age, and I don't know what the next age is going to be, but where we are now and how tech has just skyrocketed. Literally, the amount of tech and gear that you can have is endless. Medical kits, and I don't know, you can't carry enough. Your body can only handle but so much gear and tech. And yes, so, but I'm all for gear. I'm a big fan of be like Batman. Have a tool for every occasion. I have grappling hooks. I have rope. I've got, you know, the boondock sense. What are you gonna need your bloody rope for? Yes. You're gonna get your stinking rope. But I'm all for gear and I'm all for tech, and I'm a fan of the Batman philosophy. Be like Batman. Have a tool for every occasion that you could possibly think of, you know. And then there's my type. I call us bludgers. I will bludgeon you to death with my fists and feet and elbows and knees, and yes, get them knees in, get them elbows in. Yeah. Jab. Body shot, karate chop to the neck. Yes. Bludgers. What can you do with your hands? What can you do with everything? The head, bite, scratch. You're making it home tonight. That is the important goal. You're going home. But this is even more important for people in law enforcement, security, military, things of that nature, where the training has become get to your tools, get to your weapon. The moment you get scared, oh, I'm drawn. And we can't have that. We can't do that. That's why we have so many shootings, so many accidents, it's just ridiculous. Because all we've trained is your tools. Now, there are many people in security, military, law enforcement that on their own time, they train. They train with their hands. They train situational awareness. They train reactions. They train for failures. But what you can do with your hands is so important. Combatives is so important. Me, I study Hoshindo Hapkido. I study kickboxing, and I was studying jiu-jitsu until COVID, and those classes got suspended. But when they come back up, I'll be back into those classes again. What can you do with your hands? And at the same time, the knowledge of combatives. I'm going into a situation, and if I see the person that I'm confronting all of a sudden blade his body, how far he blades his body will tell me something. Is it a strict blade? Completely linear? He probably has studied Taekwondo. Lots of kicks. They typically stand side to side. As opposed to, you've got your typical boxer stance. It's still bladed. 1 foot forward, non-dominant side forward. You know. But it's different. Depending on how someone stands, could tell you a whole lot about them. Karate, people who study karate typically have a very square stature to them. Now, MMA is different. A lot of people in MMA have actually adopted kind of more of a square stance because they're preparing for the takedown. So as soon as they go to takedown, they're going to sprawl out and come back up. So they've got this kind of circular, wider stance so they can prepare for that. Not necessarily as square as someone who practices karate, because typical in karate, they're always chambering. Everything's linear. So karate stance is kind of more squarer. MMA is kind of got a combination of a boxer karate stance where one foot is kind of forward, one side is a little bit more bladed, but they're also out a lot more. And as they're moving, you'll see this type of movement as they're going. But it helps prepare them for the takedown, defending against the takedown. Now again, to each their own. You're going to, what style you decide to practice, what form you decide to practice is based on you. Me, I'll study a combination of, which I explained, different forms for different reasons. But at the same time, I'm preparing myself for the environment that I'm in. You know, trying to make an apprehension when the person is not compliant. So you're wrestling a person to the ground. Trying to put handcuffs on someone who is fighting back is not easy. But Hoshindo Hapkido helps me with that. Jiu-jitsu helps me with that, and so does kickboxing, standing up until we get to the ground. But my first instinct isn't, go to my baton, go to my gun, go to my tools that I have. One, those tools will fail you. Two, those tools can make things much more worse, make a situation worse than it actually is. So, what can you do with your hands? Me, I like to stay nice and tight. I'm bladed, I'm tight, I can do everything that I need to do. Kick, elbow. I like to fight up close. If I'm going to get into a physical confrontation, I'm going to be up close. I'm taking that range away from the person. But at the same time, I'm close enough where I can go hands-on to subdue my person. At the same time, I'm here. As you can see, I have my weapon on me, weapon retention. Now, I have my firearm away from the person. I can still do everything that I need to do Even when I'm doing my kicks, I'm kicking, I'm chambering, and I've still got my guard up for everything that I need to do. I've adopted that to me. There's a lot of people who do kickboxing, boxing, or whatever, and they're out. They want that reach. They're very technical in what they're doing. To each their own. You'll adopt it to fit you and your needs, your style, your body type. There's a lot of variables that go into play. I recommend picking a style and form that is very adaptive. Hoshindo Hapkido is constantly evolving. It's not stagnant. It's science-based, it evolves. My curriculum has changed. It changes like every 3 months because the people in charge, the masters, the grandmasters, they're constantly reevaluating the program to fit the modern combat needs of the modern day combat. And that's what I like about it. It's not stagnant. You have traditional forms of martial arts, taekwondo, karate. There's nothing wrong with these. I'm not knocking these styles, but MMA has opened the eyes of a lot of people and a lot of styles that has not changed over the years. And you can see it. Now, obviously, a lot is based on the practitioner. But pick a style that is evolving, that evolves. You know, boxing, though not much has changed, boxing is a good base form. And I always tell you, I'm a big fan of the basics. I'm a fan of basics. I'm a fan of simplicity. The basics will never change, and the basics will not fail you. Boxing is a great foundation. Just understand there's more to fighting, more to combatives than just boxing, just your hands. You have your elbow, you have your knees, you have your feet, you have your head. And in a real life fight, I'm biting, I'm scratching. In MMA and in sports, combative sports, there are safety rules. For instance, someone can go for a takedown and not get it. I've got them and now they're struggling. I'm not going to stand here and struggle and hope, and try to fight out of that takedown. I'm elbowing you straight into your spine. I'm ending that right now. We're not going to sit here and struggle for 2-3 minutes while you're trying to take me to the ground. No, that's not going to happen. So we're talking about real life here, real world situations, and we don't train enough. Security, military, law enforcement personnel, we need to be able to do more with our hands. We need to think, and we cannot always just go straight to our tools and our weapons. The police academies aren't teaching this stuff. When I trained on the FLETC, we did a lot. We had knife training. We did have some combatives, but not where it needs to be. The main, main lesson was get back to your tool. While it's safety first, in an ever-changing environment, you may need to go to your tool, but that should not be your first instinct. That should not be your first response to every situation. And we've seen that far too many times. And it's the training. When shit hits the fan, when you're in a conflict, when tensions are high, you fall back on your training. So we need to train more. Take it upon yourself. Go find a dojo, go find a studio, go find outside sources, and train in your hands. What can you do with your hands? You'll see many different things. There's the clinch. The clinch is very powerful, manipulating your opponent. But the clinch isn't just, people contribute, you think of the clinch and people contribute that to Muay Thai, which it is, but also think of it, bare knuckle boxing does it as well. You'll hear the term dirty boxing, where a person's clinching and they're striking, one-handed. Boom, boom, boom. You'll hear that dirty boxing. If you ever watch MMA at all, you'll hear the commentators say that a lot when someone has them in a clinch and now they're throwing uppercuts and hooks. They're clinching with one arm, striking with the other one. It's called, well, you'll hear it called dirty boxing. I just call it fighting. I'm going home tonight. I don't know about the rest of y'all. So there's just things you'll be aware of, things that you'll learn. Right now, I'm just giving you a basic breakdown. I'm actually this is going to be a series where I'm going to actually do more. So basically, I will maybe spar, or I'm going to interview someone who has a black belt in Taekwondo, or has a black belt in Karate, or has a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, whatever, and you'll get more exposure to that, and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as, being able to recognize what someone may know. If I put someone on the ground and they start spinning around, that person is he's comfortable on his back and probably studies jiu-jitsu a lot. I recognize that a lot when I'm trying to apprehend people, trying to put handcuffs on people. And then they start moving and twirling. The moment they start moving, I recognize, okay, he or she has had training, and I know what they're going to do now. I know I need to defend against and anticipate. And that's what it is. So, combatives, what can you do with your hands? Tools fail. I might lose my weapon, I might lose my baton, I might lose Hold on one second. My apologies. I thought my dog escaped. It was across the street at the neighbor's house. Looks just like my dog. Oh my goodness. But anyways. So yeah, that's basically all I have for you. I just want to stress the importance of combatives. And, just one, self-defense in general. Everyone should know that there are bad people out there. But for those of you in security, law enforcement, military, tools fail. Tools get lost, especially in the scuffle. Gun goes this way. Radio goes that way. Baton goes this way. Taser, I've been in scuffles. I've tried to, make apprehensions and put handcuffs on people, even in a training environment. And the person's fighting. Next thing you know, they're reaching for my cuffs. Okay, now I've got to deal with that. They're reaching for my weapon. Okay, now I've got to deal with that. But learning weapon retention in a combative situation when you're hands-on makes all the difference in the world. And I'm not worried about having to, he's reaching for my gun. I need to take my gun out and shoot him now. No. I can put hands on, retain my weapon, and still do what I need to do and get cuffs on or in the conflict, whatever the case is, without freaking out, and the confidence in doing so. I've adopted a style of my own of how I do things, like I showed you. I'm in tight, I can still move, still reposition myself in how I need to, and I still have my weapon away. I can still retain my weapon and do what I need to do. And I have the confidence doing so I'm not freaking out. So you'll adopt it, and kind of make it your own based on size, based on weight, based on, dare I say it, even based on gender. It's based on your needs as the individual, based on your environment and where you're operating out of, based on all your situations. Some people just live in bad areas, so they need that self-defense. So we will continue this. I'm actually going to start bringing some people on, and we'll demonstrate, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I wore this shirt because this is actually where I practice out of, King Tiger Martial Arts in Chesapeake off of Cedar Road. So it's probably backwards, but I'll leave a link in the description below. But that's where I practice everything out of. I'm trying to get my black belt in Hoshino Aikido, and we'll see. We'll go from there. But excellent school, excellent environment. It's like a second home to me, second family. I love them to death. So check them out. You know, I'm not getting paid to advertise. I just love the studio. I love King Tiger Martial Arts and the people there and the sensei there. So I will endorse and promote for free. It is what it is. So, but I'm not getting paid to promote or endorse or anything like that. I just truly believe in King Tiger Martial Arts and what they can do for what they've done for me, what they can do for you, what they can do for others. So, but that's all I have for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you here. I appreciate you sticking by and watching everything. And I love you all. Please subscribe, like, and subscribe, and follow, and subscribe, and like, and share, and all that good stuff. Comment in the comment section. If you have any tips, any combative tips, any different styles that you prefer, Samba, Sistema, Krav Maga, whatever, that you prefer, that you like, and why, comment it down there. I don't mind having a healthy discussion, healthy debate with you. If you disagree with anything that I've said, bring it up. I don't mind having a healthy discussion, healthy debate with you. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate you being here with Nemesis Group, and I will see y'all next time. Have a good one.